reviewing some of the best performances over the weekend, James Harden went absolutely off, becomes the first NBA player to go 50, 15, and 15, 53 points, 16 rebounds, and 17 assists. What was your reaction when you saw his stat line?
Well, obviously a stat line like that's insane. First player in NBA history to go over 50, 15, and 15. And but the other side of it is look at the opponent. I mean, the Knicks are really a very poor defensive basketball team. He had his way with that group. The one guy the Knicks would use to guard James Harden and Courtney Lee wasn't playing. So for Harden, it was a historic day for Harden. He's having an MVP type of year. The Rockets look terrific. They're getting space between themselves and the 4 and 5 and 6 seeds in the Western Conference. An amazing, amazing day for the Rockets. But to me, my biggest thought of all this, as great as it was for James Harden, as much as he's the MVP of the league right now, if there was a decent defensive team on the other end, he probably doesn't go for 53, 17, and 16. The Knicks are really, really a poor defensive team right now. And if anything, they got absolutely exposed for their lack of depth, for not having Lee, and for Harden being able to take gross advantage of them on both ends of the floor.
On the flip side, what about Houston's defense and concerns there, especially moving down and talking about the postseason? Can they even sustain anything close to this?
Yeah, Michael, that's a great question. I'm not sure that they can when they get in a tight playoff series. And I think for the way Houston is built, they're built for a lot of regular season success. And don't get me wrong, they're built properly. And Daryl Morey, their GM, did a fantastic job putting the right kind of team around James Harden from the coach on down. With that said, you got to be able to get the half-court stops, and this is a team that plays a ton of up-tempo basketball. Right now, it's been a little bit of a struggle defensively without Clint Capella. Look for them to be active trying to get another big man there. They were attached to Costa Koufos earlier in the week, and I think we'll see something there with them getting another defensive-minded big. In the end, I just don't know that it's going to be enough. Push comes to shove in a second-round series. If they make a conference final, I don't know if they have what it takes to make that push to get past the Warriors or even the Spurs, because their defense and their personnel hasn't been bad and their philosophy isn't terrible. But that whole open court thing, you really need to be really, really good defensively and conscientious when you're playing fast. And I just don't know that that's the Rockets.
Well, I'm hearing that there's this big man in Atlanta that might be available, but I'm guessing the
Could
Rockets.
Be.
I'm guessing the Rockets probably don't want to go there again.
Anywhere but there. Yeah. Anywhere but there. That I'll tell you.
Exactly. Well, who do you think would be a good fit for them?
You know, Koufos is an interesting player. I think Nerlens Noel of Philadelphia is an interesting player there. Now, they have a decision to make with Clint Capella on an extension at the end of the year. Noel is extension eligible as well, and we know Noel is available. I think for the Rockets, having a choice, maybe doing something with both, I think they'd be able to take advantage of the rising cap as well in being able to keep a guy like Noel, but I think he's a nice fit. I know they've talked to Sacramento about Koufos. Another guy that's a nice fit for the Rockets is Willie Cauley-Stein, who, if the Sacramento ends up keeping DeMarcus Cousins, which is everything I'm hearing right now, of course, that could change in a minute, but that's what I'm hearing right now. Maybe trading Cauley-Stein's not the worst move for them either. So one of those two guys besides Koufos, Cauley-Stein or Noel, I don't know. Listen, Bogut would be a really nice guy for them, but with the relationship between the Houston organization and the Dallas Mavericks organization, I don't think Dallas is going to try to help them one iota. But those are the kinds of guys I look at. Tyson Chandler's another guy that could be available and could be interesting for Houston, although the salary may not be easy to fit in.
Well, he has a history with Mike D'Antoni, so
he certainly does.